Preserving old games is a topic that comes up quite a lot in the games industry. Online games are especially tricky because they require regular maintenance to keep everything up and running. So how about these two developers who are working in their own time to keep an old MMO game alive?
Speaking to Kotaku, ArenaNet developers Stephen Clark Wilson and Bill Freist spoke about how the two of them took it upon themselves to maintain the 13-year-old MMO Guild Wars. Developed by ArenaNet, the original Guild Wars came out in 2005 and it was followed by a sequel in 2012. There is still a small and dedicated player base populating the original servers to this day. Last year, ArenaNet's technical director Stephen Clark Wilson was tasked with moving the original Guild Wars over to a new server platform, but just as he was about to do that, the data center they were using blew up. Clark Wilson said it was a disaster, but in the process of trying to fix the servers, him and ArenaNet programmer Bill Freist uncovered a network bug which they decided to fix. Clark Wilson said it was at this point he realized he needed to do more than just move the game servers. The pair decided to start a thread on the Guild Wars subreddit, and they were surprised to find that there was still a lot of interest in the original game. Clark Wilson said he thought the thread would have 5 or 10 questions, but it ended up having 380.
With the renewed fan interest, Clark Wilson and Freist set about to improve Guild Wars, and they wondered what they could do with all the technological advancements made since 2005. The result of their work was a huge update to Guild Wars graphics which took fans by surprise. Freist said the graphics update wasn't something he'd planned, but he discovered a bit of code added by Clark Wilson which would let the game render in higher quality. Freist discovered that the game's screenshot system would temporarily increase the game's quality for a single frame before going back to normal. Freist was able to exploit the mechanic and make it so modern computers could brute force improved graphics. The update was positively received by the Guild Wars community and it attracted the interest of long-time fans.
All the upkeep being done on Guild Wars falls outside of the duo's official duties, so they are essentially working on the game in their own time. The two also revealed they have future plans for Guild Wars and the goal is to keep the game enjoyable for as long as possible. Freist said, quote, "Since working on the initial lag bug, I've probably put in 30 hours of programming time. There's love for the game all over the studio and I've had several people personally thank me and want to chip in and give me advice or help making improvements. I took the initiative to do it because of my love for the game and the community."
This is just a lovely old Frankenstein and Igor situation. Two guys under the dead of night raising the dead, in this case Guild Wars. You know, I played Guild Wars 2 when it first came out. My brother's like an MMO nut. He's played them all and he's like, you need to get onto this one. Played it, it was pretty good, and I heard good things about the first one as well. Since then, actually, I didn't realise people were still playing it or anything like that, and if they had, I would have assumed, like most MMOs, it would have been dedicated fans or modders or unofficial servers. But to see the real people who made the game, or at least worked for the company that owns the IP, working on the game, it's almost unheard of. It's really good because that's the thing. Normally companies move to the new hotness and they ditch the old and busted. That's it. They've got their new stuff and then the old stuff, they'll not support it. World of Warcraft Classic's the exception, really. And now this.
Yeah.
Cool.
He obviously had permission from ArenaNet, their employers, to be able to work on this, because anybody else who would want to work on this outside of the company just wouldn't get permission because, you know, they wouldn't have access to it. The fact that these guys have taken it upon themselves to support the community, for the sake of the community, support the game, I think it's fantastic. It's a really noble cause and it's great that they've done it. It makes you wonder though, for all the other games that aren't getting supported, if this has been done by two guys and he says it's only taken 30 hours or whatever, of all them games who are shut down and people say, oh, we don't have the resources to support this anymore. Yeah. Well, if these guys can do it, two of them can do it in like with 30 hours work, what's stopping other people supporting their old games? That's the question that I ask. Maybe this is an outlier. Maybe these guys are just like genius programmers. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Maybe their servers have blown up as well. The other people. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's it.
The fact that they're not just upkeeping it, but improving it as well is pretty cool. You know, you'd expect when the Guild Wars 2's out that Guild Wars 1 would stay its regular state. No improvements, no graphical improvements that they've managed to achieve. So the fact that they're still updating it is cool. Not just keeping it flatline. Not flatline, that's dead. It's definitely not dead, Jake, because they brought it back to life, remember? Rather than plateaued, poof, they're going up there. Yeah. I'm trying to think the right hand movement to do. It's definitely that. They're going up. They're building the game. Guys, it's a good story.
At the very least, they've got to have more players than Lawbreakers, right? Ooh. At the very least.
That's disrespecting the dead. The actual dead now. Officially dead. Bosky Studios, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I feel like I brought Bosky up as well, you know, a couple of videos. I feel like they're living on through us.
They are. They will live on through us forever, even though they might be dead. With even alive to begin with, there's a question.
Stories,
but,
yeah, very much so.
We will always remember F.
It's always a challenge when it comes to preserving games that require an online certification getting in there. You know, you guys have probably got PlayStation 1 games that might not be easy to get anymore. We did a story about 2 Human. All the copies got destroyed, but if you have a copy, that's you preserving something. You can't do that if the game requires an online connection. There's lots of MMOs that are just absolutely dashed to the stones now, and that's because of how difficult it is to maintain it. But with somebody working on the inside, preservation can be done. Just like in that really famous Brendan Fraser movie, The Mummy, what that mummy said, death is only the beginning. Guild Wars... No. Let's not do the Mummy. Right. Hey guys, Guild Wars 2's around, and guess what? Guild Wars 1 is around as well. Did you play the first game? Did you play the second game? Did you even know that Guild Wars was still kicking about? Why don't you let us know down in the comment section below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new around here. There's more content here. There's also a link to our Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thank you very much, and we will see you in the next video. Bye bye.